Hey, Chevy, quit eating the goose poop. He loves goose poop. I don't get it. I want to talk to you about something that is on my heart in regards to feelings. Feelings. One of the things that helps me here when I'm on my homestead, my beautiful property here, it's the ability to gain peace, the ability to feel peace, the ability to live peace. Peace is something that so many people underestimate or really don't seek. To me, that is what I seek in life, is peace. I seek peace, peace in my heart, peace in my life, peace in everything that I do. I want to have peaceful relationships with my neighbors. I want to have peaceful relationships with my children. I want to have peaceful relationships with my friends. Peace is a very important part of my life, and I can tell you that I've been as guilty as most over the years of being a very audacity type person. Maybe I could push buttons with certain people. I know I can do that. And I know I have that ability to probably rub people's fur the wrong way. And because I'm very opinionated about a lot of things. And there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, I want to be more careful with my actions. And that's what I've been working on for the last several years, is to do everything possible to make sure that I get better and better and better at the way that I say things, or the way that I express things, or the way that I come across, so that when someone is hearing my voice, someone's hearing my words, that they're feeling peace as well. And I'm not stirring up strife, I'm not stirring up animosity or anything like that. But it happens. But the reason I brought that up in regards to Mother's Day is because I was in a conversation with someone where they had a disagreement, believe it or not, with their mother on Mother's Day. And that's my dog back there splashing in the water, if you hear that sound of water. By the way, we have new baby geese here on the lake. The Canadian geese, every year, I'm here in western North Carolina in the Appalachian Mountains. Beautiful here, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the Canadian geese come and go through my lake here every day, all year long. So some migrate, of course, but I have some that stay here all year long, flying in and out between my lake and some neighbors' lakes. And I can hear them. I know about what time of day they're going to be flying in. I know about what time of day they're going to be flying out. And but I have some that stay here and they nest around my lake. And that's one of the reasons that I don't cut it like a yard all the way down to the lake, is because I noticed several years ago where they were laying on their eggs in the brush next to the lake. So I keep a wild habitat at the border of the lake. And back here behind me on this side of the lake is where they normally lay on their eggs, and also on further up here on the lake. And so I protect the lake here, I protect the geese, I protect their offspring. And right now we just had some baby chicks, baby geese, not chicks. What do you call them, goslings? Anyway, they're baby Canadian geese. I'll show them to you on the video here. I'll patch that in, of them swimming by just a moment ago with their little babies. And it's so awesome to be able to see that. And they raise their babies here, I guess, and generation after generation just constantly come and go here at my lake. And it's just a gorgeous sight. And wildlife. They're not tame geese. Those are Canadian geese that are coming in. Anger, irritation, aggravation, animosity. These words that come up in relationships when sensitive times, holidays, maybe every day of the week, or maybe at the office where you're working, or Maybe it's a friendship that you have, someone that you run into at the gym, someone that you have as a neighbor. It doesn't matter who it is. How do you control that, and what should you do? That's a tough one. That is a tough one. And I'll tell you what I do. I learned how to do this many years ago, is when I have that level of emotion riding up in me, I don't look at anger as being something that we should say doesn't or shouldn't exist. Anger is a very normal emotion. It's not just an emotion, it's an action. So it's like a verb and a noun. Anger is right on that borderline of being an entity within our subconscious well-being that we need to learn how to manage it. And forgive the lawnmower sound. I've got 56 acres here, but it's not drowning out the noise from the neighbor cutting the grass. And I'm sure when I'm running my tractors here, he's probably saying the same thing, but he may not be trying to do a video for YouTube. Here I am doing a video for YouTube. And I'm not getting angry about that. You hear that? I'm at peace about that. I'm proud for him. I'm glad he's getting his time. He's actually a deputy over at the Cherokee Reservation in Cherokee, North Carolina. And he's a very good neighbor. And I love my neighbors. I love my neighbors. So how do we deal with the anger? One of the things that I wish we had our anger built in like a GPS. Have you ever noticed that when things don't go right, when you're driving down the highway and you miss an exit or you miss a turn, you go too far before you should have turned, and it's saying turn here, and maybe you're on the phone, or maybe you're focusing on a song on the radio, whatever it may be, and you missed your turn. Have you ever noticed what the GPS always does in that nice, smooth, eloquent language, that sound? Recalculating. It always says recalculating, recalculating. And if you keep going and you keep missing, it keeps saying that same tone, that same attitude, recalculating. It'd be nice if our anger was built in so that all it had to say to us when we were going through things, when we needed an adjustment or we needed something to change or we needed an emotion to change, that it would just automatically, with a nice calm attitude, just say recalculating. But that's not always the way our anger does. We can train it to do that, but that's not always the way it does. Now, as you know, that I'm a believer in God. I'm Christian. My background. I know that some of you listening to me here on YouTube may not be, but I will say this: meditation is a word that we all use. Whether you're Christian or whether you're other religions, we all use that word meditation. And I'm a busy person. I don't always have time to meditate quietly. And I know that that's okay, because I believe I can meditate while I'm doing things. I can meditate right now while I'm doing this video with you. I can focus like I'm focusing on my subject with you right now, and that's meditating on a subject. Meditation helps calm us down. Meditation helps reset, recalculate what we're thinking, how we're feeling. And sometimes meditation is something we forget how important it is. I have a certain place on my property here that I shared with you once before that I love to go there and read. I love to go there and think. I love to go there and get quiet. And that's meditation. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily when you're meditating that you have to find a quiet place, though, because, I mean, yes, that's great. Be still and know that I am God. That's what the Bible says. That's meditation. Be still. Be quiet. Be to yourself. Allow that rest and that peace to come in and shut everything off except for what you're focused on that is good. You know, think on things that are good. That's a great meditation. Also, there's another side of that meditation. It says meditate on the Lord day and night. Now, if we meditated on the Lord day and night, we wouldn't get anything done if we were just sitting quiet. We have to do that as we occupy what we're doing. Ladies, if you're listening to me, if you're folding a towel, Guys, if you're folding a towel, you can meditate while you're folding that towel. You can do it in a spirit of meditation to where it's calming you down. When you're cutting the grass, you can meditate while you're mowing the grass, while you're feeding your chickens, or while you're feeding your ducks or geese, or while you're feeding your pigs, or while you're feeding your cattle, or while you're milking your cow, or while you're tending your bees in your apiary. Whatever you may be doing on your homestead or in your life, or whatever you're doing, you can be meditating and you can be thinking on good things and maintaining that good spirit and that good thought pattern so that nothing is rubbing your fur the wrong way and allowing you to get out of sync. Now, this is a crazy subject I'm talking about today. I agree, because sometimes anger is something we don't want to talk about. And many people are angry right now. It seems like people are getting more angrier and angrier. You see it on social media. You see it in road rage. The way the people are on the highway, with the closer you get to the inner city, the more angrier they get. Maybe that's why us people that live up in the country and in the rural areas have a more peaceful demeanor about the way we look at things. Maybe that's what it is just we're surrounded by so much anger when we get in certain areas that it rubs off on us. Anger is not necessarily something that is a bad thing. I mean, you see a child run out in the middle of the road and you act responsively, you're going to feel a little bit of that anger inside of you. And you may even see a parent slap their child on the butt a little bit after they've done something wrong, when they have placed themselves in danger, to give them a little bit of a warning. And I'm not talking about abuse, I'm just talking about discipline. Anger, if it's in check, may not be a bad thing. And I believe that we should look at anger not as something that we don't own, not as something that's not part of us, but as something that we control, like a baby. So look at anger as a baby. Look at anger as your baby. Look at anger as your infant. If your infant was crying, if it's screaming, you don't pick that baby up and shake it. There's a lot of psychologists that would teach punch a pillow. I don't believe that side of psychology. My degree is psychology. I don't believe that side of psychology at all. I believe that you should pick your anger up like a baby and comfort that anger, get it in check. Do not allow it to practice being out of order. Allow your anger to be in order. Allow your anger to be under control. Allow yourself to know your actions. Allow yourself to be able to tell yourself, recalculating, like the GPS, recalculating. Now, I'm at peace right here, sitting on this beautiful lake, even listening to a lawnmower in the background, listening to my buddy Chevy behind me here as he jumps in and out of the water and makes splashes while I'm trying to do a video. None of that bothers me. It's part of life. It's just part of the wheel that's turning. I cannot control every little thing. It's not supposed to be controlled by me. I'm not the only existence here. We all are. But I will tell you this. Learn how to focus. Focus on the good things in life. Focus on the good people around you. Focus on the goodness in them, not always focusing on their flaws. But not just for those people, but look at yourself. Don't just focus on your flaws. Focus on the good side of you. Don't just focus on the things that you notice within yourself or about yourself that you don't like and you don't love and you don't care about. Focus on the areas of your life that you're doing pretty dang good with, and you're making it happen. Recognize your victories. Tell yourself, and don't look at yourself in the mirror. Mothers, we just talked about Mother's Day here just a moment ago. Mothers, don't look at yourself in the mirror and say, I wish I was a better mother. Sure, it's okay to say that. But sometimes you need to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm a good mother. I've done the best I could. Maybe I could have done better, but I've done really good. And I'm giving my life for my children. Fathers, do the same thing. Have that focus of affirmation for yourself. That's what it should be, to lift yourself up, because some of you are just too hard on yourself. And your anger that you're feeling on a consistent basis is not necessarily toward others, even when you're expressing it toward others. Many times, the anger that you're feeling toward others is the anger that you have toward yourself for not being up to par. When all of us, no matter how hard we look at ourselves, if we really want to look hard enough, none of us are really up to par. None of us are perfect. None of us are at that moment of perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about life, living, peace, happiness, contentment, tranquility, and learning how to see a better path, follow that path, that discipline that we can walk within and realize the imperfection is part of the perfection. We can do this, and I hope this little talk here from Welch Family Homestead has helped today. I just felt like today's video needed to be a little bit different and to share with you from my heart. Because one of the most beautiful, peaceful presences, it's a present to me, is to be able to see these baby geese being hatched here on the lake and their mother, and there's actually two of them. I don't know if it's a mother and father or if it's two mothers. I don't have a clue. But there's two adults and there's several baby geese that they just glide along the lake so peacefully, so quietly, so smoothly. It's so peaceful to see that and to watch it. And sometimes you just want to sit there and just watch their behaviors and just see them just glide across that still, pristine, clear water that's coming off these Appalachian mountains. It's perfectly clean. I love this. I love to be able to experience that. Walking around the homestead here and seeing all the blackberries blooming this time of year, and seeing the honeysuckle starting to put out blooms, and the honey locust trees are blooming right now, and the Cherokee roses are blooming right now, and all the beautiful smells in the air, and I'm seeing the honeybees build new comb and build more honey and put more brood in their supers and their brood. It's just amazing to me, the nature at work and how the leaves are all coming out so strong. And this time of year, the leaves have that bright fluorescent green tone to them. They get darker and darker as the year goes by, more of a darker green. But right now you can just see behind me, and you see the beauty in nature in this springtime. And we just have to be able to look around and say, this is life. We're looking at life. We're looking at the life it's just bursting right now. I'm seeing dragonflies flying around me right now. You can't see them, but I can. I see the fish down in the water below me right here swimming around. And I wish I could just walk you around and put you inside of my eyes so you can see everything that I see. And now that the geese are hatched, I can bring some help in and get some of this cleaned up around the lake and get it mowed and weeded down nice and clean and what have you. Obviously, I don't want to do that until all the eggs are hatched, and that's part of the process, is being in bond and in harmony and balance with nature. When we do, we become healthier and wealthier and wiser. And remember, wealth is not always money. Wealth is peace. Wealth is the way that we feel in life. How are we ever to the point where we can say we're wealthy just because we have a large bank account, but yet we have no peace in our life? Peace can never, ever be taken for granted. Peace is the number one and most important thing that you can build into your life. And with Jesus, you can have that kind of peace that even surpasses, goes beyond any of our understanding. God bless you from Welch Family Homestead. Hope that you subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and that you share these videos with others and you see some of the adventures and the journeys that we go through here with family. God bless.